practical jobs, and my dad was a builder. I had some grand idea of wanting to become a forensic pathologist. I was a bit of a Patricia Cornwell fan when I was a teenager, so I had grand ideas. That didn't last very long. But I always loved to sing, but I never really thought it could be a job, a living.
You talk about having a really religious upbringing and then kind of having to choose between following that path or going down this new path of acting, etc. Was it quite tricky to talk about that? Are you glad that it's out there in the open?
Yeah, I am. It's, everybody's got a story to tell. Everybody's got a journey. We're all getting through it. And my journey started in this small little village. I was brought up as a Jehovah's Witness until I was 16.
Imagine him knocking on your door. You'd be answering it every time, wouldn't you? Come on in, come on. Come on.
I'd be very successful now.
Come on, tell me all about it. Swooning.
I didn't, and then it wasn't my life. I knew I wanted to do something different, and it was a very difficult decision to make, and I was very young when I made it and left home at 16. My poor parents didn't know what was happening, but it worked out.
Yeah. Some of the stories that you're telling about, I mean, it's incredible, moving to London at such a young age.
Yeah.
And the one that we are waiting with bated breath to ask you about.
Go on.
What bed did you sell to the Beckhams? And how did this even happen?
Well, I worked in a very famous department store in London, and we're all waiting when you're a Christmas temp, and they just tell you where you're going to work. And I was hoping for like the ground floor with all the perfumes and the aftershaves, and I got bedroom furniture, and I was furious. It was the most. And they put me in the nursery section when I arrived. I was like, this is going to be awful.
Yeah.
And slowly I moved up to like the normal beds area. I mean, it was so unglamorous. And then one day, David Beckham and Victoria Adams walked in. They weren't married, but they were called Posh and Becks at the time.
Oh,
and,
my gosh.
I looked at them, I was like, and I looked at my manager, and she was like, go on then. And I was like, hello. Are you looking for a bed? And I sold them the most expensive bed in the room.
What was it like? Was it a waterbed? Was it a four-poster?
300 layers. I don't
Did they lie on it with shoes off?
I think they had a bit of a test, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. I think it may have been their first bed.
Yeah. Bed? Wow. Say no more.
Say no more.
We talked quickly about your parents, David and Yvonne, always super supportive. But your dad, David, he loves being on set with you, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's just a fascinating world for anybody. You come to a film set, there's so much going on, there's hundreds of people all milling around, and then when they shout action, everything goes silent. My dad's fascinated by it, and when he comes to set, he's there. My mother couldn't care less. She's at the catering table and then in the trailer. But my dad loves to be on set, to the point where, I've put him in a few of my films over the years.
Oh, that's really nice.
How many films has he been in?
He's been in about 4 now, maybe.
There he is, having makeup.
So this is my dad, dressed up as an extra for The Hobbit. Peter Jackson asked him, he said, would your dad like to be one of the extras in Lake Town, which is where my character lived? Yeah, and I said, yeah, I'm sure he'd love that. So we put him in a Gandalf spare wig and beard. That is incredible. In that picture, though, you can see he's majorly regretting it. He's wondering, what have I let myself in for? But he made the cut. He overacted a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Right. We had to tell him to tone it down. Actually, Peter told me he's overacting a bit. But we brought him down to the right level, and he's in the film.
Oh, how fantastic. Well, look, I mean, the book, you've dedicated it to your younger self, you say. I mean, what would your younger self have made of the life that you now lead?
I mean, the reason why it says my unexpected journey is because none of this was planned. None of it wasn't supposed to happen to me, and I'm very grateful for it all the way. Every job I get, every experience I have, I think about the kid who was bullied, who suffered an awful lot as a kid. Came through all of that, managed to find his way to London, into college, and get to this place. I don't know what he would think. He'd probably think I was,
I'd say he'd be delighted, in fairness.
Yeah, whether he'd believe it is another thing. It's a long and winding road, but I'm only halfway through.
Yeah,
of course.
It's a memoir, not an autobiography.
Yeah, of course.
Gosh, I can really relate to it, Luke, where you're coming from.
Right.
Luke's book, Boy from the Valleys, is out now.
Yeah. Now